Shalom friends. It's Ruth, Naomi's daughter-in-law. I've been asked to share a story with you, a story close to my heart, a story about kindness, loyalty, and the unexpected blessings that come when we choose to walk in faith. It began many years ago, in the land of Israel, when a terrible famine gripped the countryside. Food was scarce, and people were hungry. A man named Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and their two sons, Mahlon and Chilion, decided to leave their home in Bethlehem and seek refuge in the land of Moab. It was a difficult decision, leaving their homeland, but they had to survive. In Moab, they found a place to live, and the sons eventually married Moabite women. Mahlon married Ruth, and Chilion married Orpah. Life, for a time, seemed to settle into a rhythm. But sorrow, as it often does, found its way into our lives. First, Elimelech passed away, leaving Naomi a widow in a foreign land. Then, a few years later, both Mahlon and Chilion also died. Imagine the grief, the utter despair, that filled Naomi's heart. She had lost her husband and both her sons, far from home. Naomi, bless her heart, decided she could not bear to stay in Moab any longer. She had heard that the famine in Israel was over, and she longed to return to her homeland, to her people, to the familiar comforts of her past. She gathered Orpah and me, and told us her decision. "Go back to your mother's homes," she pleaded. "May the Lord show you kindness, as you have shown kindness to the dead and to me. May the Lord grant that each of you find rest in the home of another husband." She kissed us both, and we wept aloud. We protested, "No. We will go back with you to your people." But Naomi insisted. "Why should you go with me? Am I still going to have sons, who could become your husbands? Return home, my daughters. I am too old to have another husband. Even if I thought there was still hope for me, even if I had a husband tonight, and then gave birth to sons, would you wait until they grew up? Would you remain unmarried for them? No, my daughters. It is more bitter for me than for you, because the Lord's hand has turned against me." Orpah, after much weeping, reluctantly agreed. She kissed Naomi goodbye, and returned to her people and her gods. But I felt something different, a deep, unwavering loyalty, a bond that transcended circumstance. I clung to Naomi and declared, "Do not urge me to leave you or to return from following you. For where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. May the Lord do so to me, and more also, if anything but death parts me from you." Naomi, seeing my steadfast devotion, finally relented. And so together we journeyed back to Bethlehem. When we arrived, the entire town was stirred because of us. The women asked, "Can this be Naomi?" Naomi, weary and heartbroken, replied, "Don't call me Naomi, which means pleasant. Call me Mara, which means bitter, because the Almighty has made my life very bitter. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty. Why call me Naomi? The Lord has afflicted me. The Almighty has brought misfortune upon me." It was the beginning of the barley harvest. And I, Ruth, the Moabite woman, went to glean in the fields, following behind the harvesters, picking up the grain that was left behind. By chance, I ended up in the field belonging to Boaz, a relative of Naomi's late husband. Boaz, a kind and righteous man, noticed me. He inquired about me, and learned of my loyalty to Naomi. He instructed his workers to treat me with respect, and to even leave extra grain for me to gather. Boaz said to me, "May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge." I was humbled by his kindness. I worked hard gathering grain all day, and when I returned to Naomi, she was overjoyed by the abundance I had brought. She recognized Boaz's kindness as a sign of God,